Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. Alright guys, we're hooked up on a... Man, he just jumped on a hair jig. Whew. They start digging. They do that digging. Go bank flip. There we go. All right guys, there he goes. Check him out. What a gorgeous fish. Whew, for the release. All right, let me show you what I was using. Just pitching a little jig, one of my little homemade hair jigs. Oh man, both eyes came off. I always put little eyes on there and that came off. It's just pitching into this corner. And bang. Hair jigs are so underrated. I mean, if you know, you know how good they are. Almost looks like a little, kind of like a little fly, Helgermite. Alright guys, just right here in front. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, it's a nice little largemouth. That's not bad. On the hair jig. There we go, right there. Not a bad fish for the release. Don't underestimate the hair jigs. Just right through there, right through this little stretch here. Anything in there. That little guy hit just right about in there. Alright guys, we're hooked up on the hair jig on this ultralight setup on this micro rig I've got. See what we got here. Oh, he's fighting pretty good. It's a little smallmouth. There we go. Got the landing mat ready to go. There we go. Just a little hair jig. You can see it right there on the setup. Not a bad fish, a little guy, but it was a good one to catch. There you go. That's one. on this little setup. So hair jigs come in all sizes. And this corner over here is just a hot corner for all kinds of stuff. Oops. Ooh. There we go. Well, as soon as that thing hit, did you see it go under? That was cool. It hit the edge of the wall there. It's another one on the hair jig. Well, they're fighting in this current. There we go, another one. They're not big smallies, but they're fun to catch. He got himself unhooked. Whew. There he goes, got him cleaned up a little bit. That's not a bad fish. There you go, buddy. All right, so there's a little hair jig right there. Nothing to it. And this corner over here is just like everybody's piled in there. Oops. That one's not a good one. Yeah, this bobber hit that wall. And then it was like, bang. There she went. I guess I think it's like a little bug. So there's two ways you can fish hair jigs. You don't even have to have the slip bobber. You can also, oh, rats. You can just cast it straight in there without the bobber. There we go. All right, guys. Let's get back to the hair jig. I glued some more eyes on them. I always have a little kit with me. It's just a confidence thing. That's all it is, just confidence. Oh, some minnows jumped when I threw that in there. Did you see that? When it hit the water, the minnows all jumped. Boy, everybody's coming in here. Super active day. It is a Saturday, so there's a lot of people out. All right, guys, I lost one of the eyes. We're gonna switch it up, pick a different color. We'll see if we can get another one. All right, guys, we're switching to this black marabou. One of the ones that I made. We'll see how this turns out. Look at that. Looks good in the water. Looks like a Helgermite. So this, I just give it some pops. I let it flow through there. Just give it a couple pops. Sometimes I'll burn it and I'll catch them. But this is like a, black is like a universal color to catch them on. Black and chartreuse is another good one. Look at that. Yeah, it looks just like a little Helgermite. Or like a little minnow, like a chub. Here we go. We're hooked up. What do we got here? Holy cow. It's a little bitty bass. Man, he's gonna get eaten by a pike in there. Oops. Yeah. Come on. Here. Just a little bitty dude. Let's get him cleaned up a little. That's the thing with all this sand. Ooh. There he is. Boy, he hit that big. Look at this compared to how his size. That's pretty funny. All right, there you go. All right, guys, we're hooked up again on this black jig. Man, that's a nice smallmouth right there. Check that out. There he is. Look at those colors on him. All right, there you go, buddy. All right, so there it is right there. Nothing to it. I'm not a hair jig specialist by any means, but I catch a lot of fish on them. Black chartreuse, that purple and pink. I was surprised I caught them on that, but I've been catching them on that. So you just got to try different combos and just give it a shot. All right, guys, here we go. So here's another one of my hand-tied ones. I use the Fusion 19s from Berkley, but I also like the Smeltinators from Northland Tackle. This one is a purple, and there's a little bit of tinsel in there, and you got some cream colored tipped. So this one looks really good in the water because it's got that two-tone to it. I make a ton of these. I thought about starting a channel one time, hair jig, pinhook fishing hair jig or something. I also thought about doing one time for just MEPS. Pinhook Fishing Club MEPS edition or whatever. Ah. Snag. Yeah, I don't want to lose this one in here. There we go, I got it. It looks just like a little crawfish down in there. That corner is a hot corner, isn't it? This whole stretch, I think it's like a highway, about 15 feet out in, that they're just stacked in there. I've caught big crappie on them before. The jigs I've caught pike, bass, walleye. I did a video the other day with fishing the big O's in here. Crankbaits, it was pretty good. All right, boys, we're hooked up. This one feels good. He's trying to lose me on the rocks. If it's a pike, I'm gonna have real problems with those teeth. It looks like a big smallmouth or a big largemouth. You never know when you got heavy current how it's gonna go. There we go, up on the map. Oh, this is a trophy for me. Holy cow. This would be a trophy smallmouth for me for this river. We got the measuring right here, the handy dandy camp mat. Oops. 19. All right, there he is right there. Take a look at him. That's a trophy for here. Let's get him revived. There you go. Man, that was fun to catch. That was a good fish right there. There he is, he's just chilling. That was 19 right on the nose. There he goes, he's off. I'll show you this one. A bunch of the hair came out. It was caught up in his crushers. It was hooked in the top of the mouth. Oh yeah, he swam off. Here it is, right here. Little bit of tinsel left. All the white hair on the bottom's gone. So the squirrel tail hair, still usable. I may have to retie that one. That's a good thing about these jigs, is I can break them down and retie them. I caught him right off that point. Right in there. And that was fun. All right, guys. That's gonna wrap it up for me for tonight. It's been fun doing the hair jigs. Sometimes I'll do them back home in Texas, but for some reason here, I guess because of smallmouth and the pike, I just really enjoy it. And of course the walleye. But that's the story of the day. Trying different colors of hair jigs, testing them out, and just having fun with them. Make some on your own. You know which heads to use now. There's a lot of different heads you can use, but these are the ones I really like. The Smeltinators, Fusion 19s from Berkley. That's an exposed hook, but that's part of the challenge. I wasn't throwing these on my jig rod either. This is just on my regular all-purpose mag 6/8. With a 12-pound braid Sunline to the 14-pound fluoro leader from Sunline. And then on the Shimano Mirabel 3000. So you don't need a complicated setup. Get your jigs. You can buy jigs that are pre-made, but if you make them on your own, it's just you get more satisfaction from catching fish, you know, off the jigs you made. All right, thanks for hanging out with me, and until next time, I will see you then. Bye-bye. Now get out there and get your lures wet.